Hi, I'm Ryan Breckville with Student Success and Career Development. Welcome to Flight Basics, Preparing to Launch. Today, we'll be chatting about our services and resources available through Student Success and Career Development. We're located in the lower level at Towers Hall. And we'll talk about career readiness. We'll talk about those, again, specific services and resources, the ways in which we serve students during their time here at Otterbein, and also some tips for new students. So excited to kick right off. So again, Student Success and Career Development, we're located in the lower level of Towers Hall. We are a one-stop shop for a lot of resources that help our students both academically and outside of the classroom to really gain confidence and ensure their journey is a confident one. So we provide supplemental academic advising that involves course selection, change of major and minor, making sure that students are on time, what their timeline to graduation looks like, and any other really questions that students have related to their course of study. We are happy to answer and be a resource there. We also have study abroad in our office. So if students are thinking about traveling during part of their Otterbein experience, they can meet with our study abroad coordinator, Michelle DePold, and talk to her about short-term programs, travel courses, longer-term full semester programs. Obviously, everything is a little bit, it's still in flux, but it does look like things are starting to open up in terms of international travel. So we're excited about that. But anytime students have questions about study abroad, they're welcome to email that address that you see there, studyabroad@otterbein.edu. And then finally, our services about career development. So we are here to meet students where they are in terms of their career development. Some of our students know exactly what they're seeking professionally, and they've picked their major, they're confident in that, and they're heading in the direction. But most of our students are confident about their major, but they may not be exactly sure where that heads professionally. So we are, again, there to meet them wherever they are. And we also know that those decisions change over the course of their time here at Otterbein. So happy to meet them where they are and share resources to help them move forward confidently. We also spend a lot of time helping students with their job and internship search strategies, as well as thinking about graduate school after graduation. One of the areas that we focus on a lot with our students is career readiness. We want our students to be confident in their direction. And so we share with them here the competencies that employers are seeking as they're getting ready to graduate. So you'll see the list here that's developed by our National Professional Association, and talking with and partnering with employers across the nation. These are the competencies that employers are really seeking. And we're asking students to think about how they could or how they have developed these competencies, and how those are reflected through their resume, their cover letter, and certainly through their interview conversations that they have with potential employers. So you can take a look through that list, and I'll highlight just a few. Typically, as I'm working with employers, I hear them say frequently that they're looking for students who can communicate effectively, who can work in teams, and who can critically think and solve problems. So not that the others aren't important, they certainly are, but those are typically the top three that I hear employers say consistently across industries. Students who can communicate effectively, work in teams, and critically think about problems and solve them. So what we do, again, just a little bit more of a definition of the career development side of student success and career development. We're working with students throughout their 4 years. We love to meet with students during their first year just to give them a sense of our services and resources and how we can help them through their time at Otterbein. But we spend a lot of time talking with students about major and career exploration. As I shared earlier, students might be really confident in terms of their major, but not necessarily sure how they might use that professionally. And we do prescribe that major doesn't equal career. Those competencies that I shared earlier, those are really what employers are looking for. So if a student is in a major that doesn't have a linear career connection, so for example, our accounting majors are typically going to be accountants, our education majors are going to be teachers for the most part. But for some of those majors that don't have that linear connection, we want to talk about how those competencies are coming through in the coursework that students are taking, as well as the ways in which they're spending their time outside of the classroom. So we spend a lot of time on career and major exploration. Probably our most popular service, though, is next, the resume and cover letter development. Again, we're working with students at various stages of development in those documents, helping students identify internship and job possibilities. What do those search strategies look like? How do I find an internship? What are the steps that I need to take to be effective in my search? And as I'm getting ready to graduate, what might my job search look like? And we also extend our services to alumni as well. So as alums are having these same kinds of questions, whether it's a resume update or a job search or getting ready to apply to graduate school after having been working for a few years, happy to meet our alums where they're at as well. We're also excited to connect our students with our alumni. We have a very dedicated alumni base who are extremely willing to connect with current students, share advice, talk about their time at Otterbein, and also what their journey from Otterbein has looked like throughout their professional career. We offer practice interviews for our students. So as they're getting ready for a big internship interview or full-time job interview, we're happy to sit down with them, or a graduate school interview for that matter. Happy to sit down with them, go through a practice interview, and give them feedback on the areas of strength and also areas that might just need a little bit of improvement as they head into those interview conversations. And then as students are thinking about graduate school, we're happy to help walk them through that timeline and process, provide feedback on their personal statements. Typically, our students are also working closely with faculty members in that process as well. How do we do it? What does that look like? We spend a lot of time meeting with students one-on-one to talk about, here's a copy, they present a copy of their resume, we're providing feedback, or we're working with them one-on-one on those interviewing skills, interviewing strategy, internship search strategies, all those things I mentioned earlier, but a lot of that happens one-on-one. We also do a fair number of workshops where we're providing topical content on those topics that we just looked at previously. How do you start a resume? How do you run an effective internship search? How do I navigate LinkedIn for networking purposes? And we have great partnerships with our faculty. We're frequently asked to come into classrooms and present on those same topics throughout students' experience here inside the classroom. And then we host a number of career fairs as well. Some of those are focused on industry, such as a nonprofit job and internship fair that happens in the spring. We have an education interview day also in the spring. We have some general career fairs also in the fall and spring that our students can attend. And we invite students early on in their career to come to those events and explore them, to see the kinds of opportunities that are available, and to really get comfortable with what that career fair experience can look like, so that as they are approaching an internship or job search, that they have a sense of, okay, I understand what this event looks like. I have a sense of how I can present myself, my elevator pitch, here's who I am and the kind of interests I have and experiences I've had inside and outside of the classroom. So we're excited to coach students through this process. So Focus 2 is one of our key resources that we wanted to highlight here. It is not a magic crystal ball, but it is a great self-assessment tool to help students gain confidence in their direction as far as occupational possibilities go, or to open a new door to that students just weren't aware of. So it is there are 5 assessments or 5 components to the Focus 2 self-assessment. You'll see those 5 listed there. Students will answer a series of questions related to each of those areas, and then resulting is a list of occupations that align with the way in which the student answered those questions. So again, it's not a magic crystal ball, but it is a good starting point to engage in some conversation. And we really want to meet with students after they've completed the Focus 2, just to help identify some themes and patterns, because some of the lists of occupations that are presented can be really long and overwhelming, and students are like, well, I don't know what some of these occupations are. There's some brief descriptions about those, but we work with some other resources like the Occupational Outlook Handbook to provide a little bit more detailed understanding of what those occupations are, as well as some other resources to learn more about those specific results that students have achieved there. So yes, come in and schedule an appointment to talk with us. Another really popular service that we provide, I mentioned earlier, is just resume and cover letter review. So we have sample resumes on our website that we invite students to take a look at and explore, and they can obviously change that information and make it their own. Same holds true with cover letters, but we're happy to meet students that are where they are in that development. So some students will come to us and say, I need to create a resume, and we're happy to meet them there and give them these samples and work through drafts so that they feel 100% confident about that document and the way it represents them. And other students come to us with very polished documents that they've been working on for a really long time. And we just advise students to keep that document up to date, so that if someone presents an opportunity to you, maybe it's a faculty member that says, I've learned of this great opportunity with an alum, or if it's something that students have found on Handshake, which is our job and internship board, that they're ready to apply for that. The document is up to date and it's ready to go as far as an application. So a little bit more about Handshake, again, our job and internship board. So listed there are internship opportunities. There are full-time job opportunities listed there, on-campus jobs. So if your student is looking to work on campus, perhaps they have federal work study as part of their financial aid package, an on-campus job will help realize that. Students can also work on campus if they don't have federal work study. Also, part-time off-campus jobs are listed there. So you'll just see some numbers. We've got some really good volume strong interest from our employers in Otterbein students. You'll see the numbers of full-time jobs and internships listed there. Opportunities across the country are available through Handshake, and early August is a good time to get into Handshake and create your profile there. So again, just a great resource of how to connect with employers to see the kinds of opportunities that are out there. It's also just really good for that career exploration piece to see like, what are some of these job titles that may be of interest to me, and what are the kinds of skills that they're seeking, and what does that description look like? What does it really say in terms of the roles and responsibilities? So one of the things that we really spend a lot of time on helping our students realize is the importance of internships and professional experiences. So we are internships and professional experiences are the same thing. It's a test drive of a career path, typically happening during the summer, but we also have a good number of students that also build their schedules in such a manner that they're able to intern during the academic year as well. And maybe that's only 10 or 12 hours per week, but it's still experience that they're gaining. Whereas many of our students who are doing summer internships, those tend to be full-time over the course of the summer. What's most important to us is the students gain those experiences. So it can be a very formal internship where they're working over the summer. It's a 12-week program. The students are working 40 hours per week. Or it could be a very informal experience where maybe it's 8, 10, or 12 hours per week. And maybe it's over the course of the academic year, maybe just the fall semester. But it's an opportunity for students to gain practical hands-on experience that complements what it is they're learning inside of the classroom. Most of our internships are paid. I would say that probably 15% of internships are unpaid. So thankfully our employers are paying interns these days more and more, which is great. Students have the option of receiving academic credit for those internships if they would like. They work closely with their faculty advisor for all the details of that. There's some paperwork involved, but they do have the option to gain academic credit for those internships should they choose that. So we're suggesting that every student complete at least one internship prior to graduation, and that for an even more competitive portfolio that they do 2 to 3. And that just gives students more opportunities to test drive and see what fields really align with their interests and skills, and where they really see a good fit in terms of how they want to put their Otterbein education to use. And finally, tips for new students. We always like to end with some advice here. And as you look through that list, it is not a mistake that you see get involved 3 times. We feel like it's really important for students to feel comfortable academically, that they feel good about courses they're taking, they feel confident in their preparation for those courses, that they're having success academically. But then outside of that, we want them to get involved in a student organization and really just make some other connections that way. It's another great way to develop skills, those competencies that employers are looking for. So get involved. Certainly we want you to do well academically. That's your #1 priority, but get involved outside of the classroom as well. If you're not certain about majors, explore some possibilities. And I would even add, explore some minors in there as well. That's a great way to round out your education and really develop some key skills, or explore some areas of curiosity, again, to make the most of your time here at Otterbein. Come see us. We are happy to talk with you and meet with you and provide insight. It's never too early. It's never too late to come see us. So stop by Student Success and Career Development. We'll be happy to meet with you. And even it's just, hey, I'm new to Otterbein, tell me what you do. We love to have those conversations. And then finally, conduct informational interviews. So that can be connections with alumni who are in fields that might be of interest, where you have an opportunity just to talk with them about the work that they do on a daily basis, how they got into the field, and any advice they might offer you or offer the student as they move forward working towards that goal. So again, we appreciate and are excited to work with your student during their time here. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You'll see our email there, studentsuccess@otterbein.edu. Welcome, and you're welcome, and we invite you to follow on our social media channels as well. Thank you.